Well, good evening. So we have a question we want to ask you tonight. How does it feel to win when winning is losing? So stop and think about that for just a minute. Let it sink in. How does it feel to win when winning is losing? That's the question we're going to talk about tonight for just a few minutes. Ever been in that place where you won, but you didn't win?
Well, and like we're talking about, like say you're having an argument or a discussion, however you label it.
Or a fight.
However you label it, But typically, as humans, we want to be right. And typically in a marriage, one of those humans wants to be right all the time.
Don't look at me. Yeah.
You're the only option I've got. I only have one other human in my marriage.
Right.
Yeah.
And we want to be right. But sometimes in being right, we lose.
Yeah.
We can be right and yet still lose.
You can hurt feelings. You can say things that you regret, even as they're coming out of your mouth. Sometimes, oh man, I shouldn't have said that, but it's too late because you can't put it back in. It's out there.
Yeah. So here's the question we have for you tonight as we think about this whole idea. How does it feel to win when winning is actually losing? So I can win and be right, but lose the relationship. John Maxwell was talking about this, and he said that Margret, his wife, as John was winning one day in their discussion, she looked at him and said, "Okay, John, you win, but you're losing me." So stop and let that sink in. I think that's such a profound moment right there. That statement, you're winning, but you're losing me. And sometimes winning the argument or winning being right, and we were talking earlier today, it's not even about an argument.
Right.
It's just about a point you want to make.
Yeah, or just the things that we say, and this is a struggle in my life. So he might say something or do something, and it's not even a big thing. Like with us in, let's just say, content creation. He's like typing away, he's got all these great ideas and he's creating all this stuff, and I'm the detail person that comes in and says, "Oh, we need to change that. That's not right. You didn't spell that right." And he's like, "Would you just read it for what it's saying?" And like, that's really hard for me to just be quiet. Mm-hmm. But like we've talked before about how the what is it? The sign of maturity is the number of holes in your tongue.
Right.
So it's biting your tongue when you feel like you really need to say something. And there's lots of other examples. There's times when you might say something, and if I just don't respond, it could be over and not a big deal.
Yeah. And there's no damage to the relationship in that.
Right. Or I can respond in a natural sort of carnal way.
Make a point.
Yeah. And damage is done, and feelings are hurt or whatever it might be, and it's really truly not worth it.
Well, and it's just sometimes, have you noticed, it's like we just want to be right in, well, you could do it this way, or you should have done it that way, or why didn't you do this, or why didn't it's like,
it could even be when you're driving.
Okay, yeah. You want to go there? Let's talk about driving.
Sure.
No, let's not talk about driving.
But it's just another area where, if he's driving, he's a very capable driver. If I wasn't there, he would be able to get to wherever it is he's going without my help.
And I typically do when she's not there.
But when I am there, I somehow feel that it's my duty as a wife to help him. And then I regret it. And we no longer really fight about it. We laugh and joke about it now. But
that wasn't always the case.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of time
Yeah.
when that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
But the other thing I'd like to say is that we're not talking about not sharing your feelings
Right.
and holding things back all the time and holding them inside, because if you shared them, they would not be received well. There are times and places where that is a necessary thing. And we encourage you to share your feelings. And we encourage you to be each other's safe place where it's perfectly okay for you to share your feelings and they won't be mishandled.
Right.
But that's not really what we're talking about tonight. We're just talking about those times when, you just need
You just have to be right.
Be the mature one and not fight back.
Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes being right or sometimes winning is actually losing. And I would just challenge you. Challenge as you think back through some of those emotional moments in your relationship. How many of those conversations really needed to be at the level that they were? How many times could you have bitten your tongue, not had to be right, and yet won? And in that, the marriage thrives and the relationship grows, and you really won. You won not by being wrong, but by keeping your mouth shut, or by going a different route, or focusing on the relationship instead of what you need to prove.
Right. Because oftentimes when we're trying to prove our point, you can just see how it's received by your spouse. It's the same with children. You can damage their spirit. You can damage that you can just see them wilting, or
It's
you
kind of
can
deflate.
see, yeah. And that's not my goal ever, to do that to my husband or my children. But when we don't keep a close eye on our tongue, can you keep an eye on your tongue? I can't.
I'll keep an eye on your tongue.
Anyway, sorry. I just can't help it sometimes. But it's about being intentional. It's about thinking. It's about planning, and just I think even the outbursts or the fight is a habit, and you can break that habit, and you can start a new habit where you don't just say everything you think. It's really okay to not share everything you think.
Yeah. So we want to leave you with this. The sign of maturity are the holes in your tongue. And it takes maturity, oftentimes, to bite your tongue and not say everything that's on your mind.
Yeah. Yep.
With that, we want to let you know again that we have a choice every day how we show up. You get to choose how you show up in your relationship. We want to encourage you to show up well. Show up on purpose and with positive intention. And go make it a great day. Oh, and by the way, did you see our happy dance? The course is done.
Yay!
You guys have a great night.
Take care.